Vladimir Putin is not going to Istanbul. Not only that, not the B team, not the C team. Instead, it's going all the way down to F. That's right. Vladimir Putin has now downgraded this entire meeting at the last minute, past midnight, Moscow time, to pretty much sending over a team that there really is no indication that he even wants to negotiate. He doesn't even want to meet with the Ukrainian delegation. Let's take a step back for a second here. Vladimir Putin miscalculated. He never thought that Zelensky would say yes to his conversations. And Donald Trump has a little bit with this because Donald Trump said from the beginning, you know what, Ukraine, you should do this. See what happens. Now, that kind of did put Ukraine in a situation where, well, if they say no, then they may not get as much support from the United States. But if they say yes, well, then they got the backing of the U.S. And if Russia doesn't show up, then guess what? That's a win for Ukraine because it shows that Ukraine is ready to do a ceasefire, ready to end Russia's war. And so Zelensky, without hesitation, said, yeah, let's do this meeting. Not only that, Putin, you started this war. You're the only one who can end this war. Instead, how about you and I sit down one-on-one in a room? No conditions. Let's just have a conversation. Now, I will tell you this. From every Russian telegram channel, especially military ones, no one expected this. This wasn't any kind of outcome that they thought was going to happen. They honestly thought Ukrainians would be like, we don't negotiate with Russia. Because technically speaking, that is their law. They don't negotiate with Russia. That's what it is. But Zelensky coming out and saying, let's do it. Let's you and I do it. And then Donald Trump coming out and saying, you know what? Vladdy Daddy, you want a meeting with me. I know because Marco Rubio has told me all the time, Witkoff has told me all the time, that you want to meet with me so badly. So let's go ahead. Let's do it. If Vladimir Putin is going to go to Istanbul to have this conversation with Zelensky, I want to be in that room. That way you can meet me like you want to do so badly, and we can finally end the bloodshed. This has messed up and sent the Kremlin into a crazy situation in which now it's more than just Ukraine. It's Donald Trump. And Donald Trump himself actually doubled down today. He was on the aircraft speaking to CNN's Caitlin Collins, in which he asked, A, what is the United States going to do if Russia doesn't show? And B, is he still going to Istanbul to meet? Now, he didn't answer that first part, but he did say that if Vladimir Putin's going to go there, our schedule's busy, but I would change all of my plans and go meet them if it means the end of this war, if it means a ceasefire. Doubling down I will go there and back up Ukraine so we can end this thing. But now, after midnight, we just got word, literally all of 15 minutes ago, that they have downgraded this meeting so much to the point to where you and I both know nothing is going to come from this. So from the Ukrainian side, they were going to send literally everyone from the A team. Zelensky's actually going to be in Turkey. But this is who they're sending. Now, some of these people are people who were representatives who were sent during the 2022 talks. This is a couple of 3 or 4 weeks into Russia's first invasion, full-scale invasion. So this includes the chairman of the Interdepartmental Commission on Historical Education of Russia. Okay. The Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation. That's right. Not Lavrov, but the Deputy Minister. The Director of Russian Military Intelligence, which is just like... And then the Russian Deputy Minister of Defense. Yeah, that is not the team you send to end your invasion, to negotiate a ceasefire. Those are the kind of people you send when, look, we really can't, we really don't want to end this. Just send some people so that it looks like we attempted, and then we can come out and say, look, we tried talking to Ukraine, and clearly things are not working. Russia has zero intentions of actually ending this war or having negotiations this Thursday. They don't plan on it. Which leads us to the question of what happens next. You and I both know that Russia, once again, has no plans to end their war or kind of even have any negotiation. What happens next? Because clearly, this pressure that we were trying to put on them wasn't working. Diplomacy is not working on them. Because if diplomacy did, Putin would be there, or at least Lavrov, right? You know, if you're not going to send the number one guy, the A team, the B team would have been Lavrov. The C team would have been what? I don't even know, because those are the only two that really matter if you actually wanted to end this war. And so this is the question I pose to the United States, to Europe, to the UK. Is it officially time to say, yo, we're done with this speaking to Russia thing? We're just going to send Ukraine everything and just get this thing done with. And I look, I don't think Donald Trump understands how much Putin is spitting in his face by not actually coming or sending the B team or sending anyone of significance. Hope Donald Trump understands that nothing's going to come from this meeting, and Russia is just using it to stall the United States again on sanctions, which, well, I mean, we've seen this play out. The only reason why this meeting was even going to happen was because, well, at midnight on Sunday, there was a deadline in which Russia had to have a ceasefire. And, well, they obviously didn't want a ceasefire, and so they picked an option that wasn't there. There was two options. Have a ceasefire, or we're going to put more sanctions on you with weapons. Russia said, let's have a meeting. Then every country, including the United States, says, Ukraine, go to the meeting, we'll see what happens. We've already seen what happened. And I can predict the meeting before it even happens. The Ukrainian delegation is going to sit down. The Russian delegation is going to sit down. They're going to do a whole list of demands, Russia. Ukraine's going to be like, well, aren't we negotiating? They're going to say no. And that's it. Now, the grand question is, how are people going to react after that news comes out? I worry that Donald Trump's going to say, oh, it was a good first meeting. They spoke. Nothing came of it, but hey, you got to get started there. No, that's not what it should be. It should be, we've tried this. Russia downgraded it so much. Now it's time to give weapons to Ukraine. More sanctions on Russia. But I want to know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. How do you think the meeting's going to go? I mean, that's how I think it's going to go. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'm Joey. Stay safe, everyone.